In a quiet fishing village in southern Nigeria, where the river moves slowly like a long silver snake under the sun, lived a young couple whose love story the villagers still talk about to this very day. Their names were Tunde and Amina. They were not rich. They did not own big houses or expensive things. But they had something many people spend their whole lives searching for. They had each other. Every morning before sunrise, while the village was still sleeping and the air was cool with mist from the river, Tunde and Amina would walk side by side to their wooden canoe. Fishing was their life. Tunde would throw the nets into the water with strong, practiced arms, while Amina patiently pulled them back, laughing whenever a stubborn fish splashed wildly. Sometimes the work was hard, sometimes the river was stubborn, but together, everything felt easy. The villagers often said something beautiful about them. "They move like one person," they would say. One evening, after a long day on the water, the couple sat quietly by the riverbank, watching the sunset paint the sky orange and gold. Amina rested her head on Tunde's shoulder. The river was calm, the wind was gentle. Then she spoke softly. "Tunde, promise me something." Tunde looked at her and smiled. "What is it, my love?" Amina took his hand and held it tightly. "Promise me we will never live without each other. If death ever comes, it should take us both on the same day." Tunde laughed softly at first, but when he saw the seriousness in her eyes, he squeezed her hand. "I promise," he said. "If I leave this world, you will not stay behind. And if you leave, I will follow you." They both laughed afterward, thinking it was just a romantic promise between two people deeply in love. But sometimes, words spoken beside a quiet river carry more weight than we realize. Years passed. Their love never changed. If anything, it grew stronger. Then one morning, the river looked peaceful, almost too peaceful. A thin blanket of mist floated above the water as Tunde and Amina pushed their canoe away from the shore. The village behind them was still asleep. Tunde stood up in the canoe, preparing to cast the fishing net far into the water. He lifted the heavy net over his shoulder and threw it with all his strength. But in that single moment, his foot slipped. "Amina!" Before she could grab him, Tunde fell into the river with a loud splash. Amina screamed and reached into the water, desperately trying to pull him back. For a moment, his hand appeared above the surface. Then, the river pulled him down. The water grew quiet again. Too quiet. Amina sat frozen in the canoe, staring at the ripples where her husband had disappeared. She whispered his name again and again. "Tunde, Tunde." But the river gave her no answer. Hours later, villagers noticed the canoe drifting slowly along the river. When they reached it, they found Amina lying peacefully in the boat, her head resting exactly where Tunde used to sit. It looked as if she had simply fallen asleep, but her heart had already stopped. And just like the promise they made years before, under the golden sunset, they both left the world on the same day. Even today, in that quiet village by the river, elders still tell the story of the fisherman's promise, a story that reminds everyone who hears it that sometimes love can be deeper than the river itself.